Hello! I'm super excited because I was walking to do some groceries and I was listening to a podcast, Samuel Brown's The Perfectionism Project, and as I was listening, an idea kind of popped into my head. And so basically, as I've been recording these vlogs, they've kind of mostly been on social media, but then I've brought up like makeup and hair, and from my perspective, I can tell how they're related, like the underlying relatedness, or whatever. The underlining related theme between all of them. And I remember the last video I did, the makeup one, I was like, okay, I know in my head that I'm revolving around this similar theme, but I also feel like I don't have a name for it, or like, even though it makes sense in my head and I see how it's all coming together, the way I'm communicating it, you wouldn't necessarily see that unless you've kind of already been down the road, or unless you're me, I guess. So, all that to say, today when I was listening to the podcast, it kind of helped me see a possibility, which of course, who knows, things are always changing and evolving, but it helped me see a possibility, which is what has me so excited. Ooh, posture. So, I feel like it's growth mindset. I feel like what I'm talking about being vulnerable and pursuing vulnerability, is essentially what I'm calling the road to growth mindset. Which I guess maybe I'll talk about more later, but just like growth mindset, fixed mindset's the perfectionism part. So the idea that like our abilities and skills and whatever are fixed when we're born and there's nothing we can do about them, or like there's nothing we can do to grow or change. And then the growth mindset is essentially the mindset and perspective and view that like I can learn and grow. I might not know how or what the journey is, or all the steps, but I have the ability within me to learn and to practice and to figure it out. And how for me vulnerability has tied into that is it's scary and hard to do that. Being a person who's lived in a growth mindset, in a fixed mindset, it's nice theoretically and intellectually to hear or to think like, oh, growth mindset exists, like that's exactly what I need, that's me. It's another thing to actually do it, and that's where I feel the power of vulnerability comes in, because if you're willing to be vulnerable, you can actually live growth mindset. If you're willing to push through the discomfort, which I'm pretty sure that's something Samuel Brown has said, but just if you're willing to feel that uncomfortable feeling of growth, what it takes to do growth mindset, then you're being vulnerable. I feel 100% subconscious talking about that, because I just feel like I'm not an expert. Who am I to say these things? But I guess that's all along the same theme too, of just that fixed mindset. So I guess, to switch or flip the perspective into growth mindset, like I don't have to be an expert. If you want to know about growth mindset, or if you don't like what I said about it, you could either not listening or look it up and like learn your own information about it. But I'm just passionate about doing it in my life and passionate about connecting with people, so I'm allowed to share that. That's the growth mindset. Like, I'm allowed to share that. I'm allowed to show up and not be an expert and not be perfect and still share and connect with people on this journey. Oh man. And yeah, I feel really light and enlightened, I guess, to see that this is the theme I've been circling around in all of my vlogs, whether it's, mostly talking about social media or talking about makeup or hair or whatever it is. So that's really cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get to my groceries. I'm super hungry, so I'm gonna get to these groceries and get something to eat, and I'll see you next time.